Hola, ¿cómo estás? I am Kaja, and I like to talk about video games. I'm going to be doing that today, as per usual, and a bunch of other random stuff. First of all, I'm at work, and whenever I do a vlog at lunchtime, I always close my door so I don't have to hear people and they don't have to hear me. And I close my blinds for my window, my walkout window here, because it stops the light, natural light. No one wants to see every detail of my face. Got eyes, got a nose, got a mouth. We're good enough. So I think my coworkers think I'm crazy because, like, at the end of lunch every day, I'm just like, close the door, close the blinds. They're like, what is she doing there? I don't know. Anyway, I just signed up for the Elder Scrolls Online beta. I'm absolutely thrilled. I feel good about it. Hopefully I'm going to get picked. I just wanted to kind of share some advice when you're signing up for either this beta or any beta that gives you like that little text box, like, what do you want to be in our beta? So I think a lot of the very common answers are, I really love your game. I want to try your game, which is okay, but everyone's going to say that. Everyone's going to say very basic, like, I love your game for a long time, me love you long time, anything like that. They love to hear that you love them, but that's not necessarily grounds to pick you for a beta, especially since, if you think about it, everyone's going to be saying that. So just saying that you love a game isn't enough for them to kind of have you stand out of the rest of the applicants, because they're probably going to have a lot of applicants. And I am just doing this assuming this is what they want to hear. And this is actually a twist to that is I actually mean it. So what I said to them, and I'm hoping they get it, and I hope they understand, and this is actually absolutely true. I'm not just saying it because this is what they want to hear. I know this is what they want to hear, but it's also true. So just keep that in mind. Try to be honest as possible. I can't tell you what to do. It's the internet, but this is on my grounds. This is what I did. So when I got to that little box that asks me, why should we pick you out of everybody to be in our beta? I basically told them that, I approach games with a mature angle. I basically look at them and I do get excited, but I don't get too excited and overly excited and have it blind me to how it's going to be in reality. So it's really easy to see a game as it being really good because that's what they want to market it to you as. So it's really hard to know what the flaws are until you actually play it. So if you're just going to assume a game is going to be the best game ever just by a cinematic or something like that, that's not a realistic way of looking at a game. So what you need to tell them, assuming that you really mean this, is that you want to contribute, you want to give them feedback, and you want to give them constructive feedback, because a lot of people are going to be whining about this game too. There's a lot of controversy, and it's not really important controversy. It's a fake world that's close to a lot of people's hearts, but they don't necessarily have to play this game if they're angry about the fact that people are making this. Bethesda is going to be working on continue on their own series, like after Skyrim onwards, with the one-player, single-player games. And ZeniMax Online is going to be making this game. So in all honesty, there's not... it's a lot of pressure on ZeniMax to make sure that they keep, up to standard and what the expectations are for these games, but also Bethesda's not wasting their time on a game that, if it doesn't make it, Bethesda's been putting all their time into all the stuff that they know they're good at making. So I know we went through that in the last vlog, or vlog before that or something like that. So if you tell them that you want to contribute, you want to give them the best feedback that you can, you want to help them make the best game that they can, and just give them the most honest, constructive criticism that you can. So don't tell, you don't want to be, you want to tell them that you're not going to be super pissy about everything that they do. You're not going to be blind, and you're not going to be completely happy with everything they do without even looking at it properly. You're going to have a fair idea of what, an MMO needs in terms of being successful and being fun, right? That's the thing, is like the sole purpose of a game is to be fun. MMOs have the most pressure, and because this is an Elder Scrolls world and lore and everything like that, it's got even more pressure than a regular MMO, because a lot of MMOs just spawn out of nothing. WoW spawned out of an existing world that actually took a lot from Warhammer Online. So Warhammer made an MMO that wasn't as successful as World of Warcraft, but they kind of built that world first. World of Warcraft took pieces of that world and built their own world and made a more successful game that's one up on them. That's, you know, good for them. And then, sorry, I'm putting my lunch away. And so, but there's a lot of other games that just kind of spawned out of the world. Like, we want to make an MMO. We're going to build a world right now. Let's think about some stuff that we're going to do. And then it would be spawned. So this game has such a long-standing world and lore that a lot of people are pretty much geniuses at remembering and understanding. And like, when I say genius, I also mean disgusting, gross, sweaty nerds, but I mean that in the most endearing way that I can. I definitely don't pay attention to the lore as much as a lot of people, but I do think that the lore is one of the biggest parts of the game that keeps you going, because it's so interesting. And it's not just like, let's go kill dragons and stuff like that, which actually this game isn't really going to have dragons as of yet because it's too early in the era, or several eras. But, you know, there's a lot of politics. And the cool thing about, like, say, Dragon Age, the politics are, like, one of the funnest things in the game is, like, they put you in there and they go, you have to make a choice. But both choices seem okay, or both choices seem bad. It's not just a good choice or a bad choice. It's like, what do you think? Like, these guys are kind of assholes, but they don't get treated very well. Is that why they're an asshole? So a lot of the lore is, you know, racism and politics, and it really gets you kind of, it kind of stirs up your opinions, because, you know, depending on who you are, you may have a different opinion of a type of race or a type of way that someone approaches the politics as someone else, just like in real life. So the cool thing about that is, like, it's a completely new way of, or it's not a new way of looking at life. It's like the same way of looking at life. It's just in a different world. So, you know, they seem to have that constructed already, which is good, because a lot of, even the factions so far, the 3 factions, I mean, that's all politics. They're all pining against each other, and they don't even like working with each other in some terms because they're racist. Like, it's really cool. It's a really neat means for a lot of conflict and a lot of cool stories. So if you want to try this game, you haven't signed up for the beta yet, try to give them more than what you think of them, or what you know, how much you love their games and stuff like that. You know, let them know what you can contribute to them, which is your feedback. That's what they're looking for, is you to play their game, you to go, like, break something and go, hey, I broke this, this is what I did, this is exactly how I did it. That's what they need to know. They also need to know, like, was this quest shitty? Was it actually boring? Because they probably spent hours and hours creating this quest, and then they only see how it is from their end, but they're not going to see it from a player's end anymore. They're going to see it from a completely different angle. So you need to go in there and go, yeah, this quest is great, but, like, how come I have to spend, like, this much time doing this really boring thing when I could go be doing something else? So they want to know what they could do to improve their game and make it potentially the best MMO to date. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm saying that it potentially could be if we give them the right feedback, if they know what they're doing, and obviously a bunch of other variables that we can't control. But anyway, I hope that helps a little bit. My nose is starting to tickle because I got a little bit of a dripple going. So dripple is a real word, just so you know. But I'm gonna go blow my nose. See you later. Bye.